What's going on, everybody? Had a little late night beginning there because Chloe, I mean, she just poops inside the house. That's the only place she poops. You can let her outside for 4 hours and she'll come in the house and go poop. And so I was over there trying to do something with my GoPro camera and stepped in some of her poop. And then I could smell it. And I looked down, there's another big thing of poop. Man, she's just... If she wasn't cute, man. Wow, I'll tell you that. Crazy. It's not really rabbit size. And we crate her all the time, Susanna. Crate her all the time. That's what we do. You just let her outside, comes back in, poops. You know, it's driving me nuts. I know how to crate train. I've done it with all the dogs. She's just doesn't get it. Oh, by the way, you know, you've probably been watching CNN and MSNBC because a lot of you are on the Democratic side, and how they were bashing everybody who was saying that they think that the virus may have started in a lab in Wuhan. And Kyron actually sent me a link to a couple of YouTubers, one particularly, who was talking about it in way before everybody, like March 20 something, March 23rd. He talked about a job posting and a particular person, and it turns out all that shit's true. Isn't that wild? It's all true, every bit of it. And now, like, Fox News is coming out because they brought it up, but not with any sort of detail. It was more conspiratorial sounding when they would do it. But now they've got, like, the information, and it's exactly the same information that the people had. These two YouTubers have it, in particular this one guy. Okay, he lived there for 10 years, and he reads Chinese really well, and I have the link in my description of the video too. So if you want to go check it out later or whenever the hell you want to go look at it, it's pretty amazing. And then the video before that, which is March, I think 23rd or something, is when he sort of almost seems like he's discovering the articles. You know, it's amazing. Yeah, so it's not necessarily nefarious how it came about. There was a lab in Wuhan that they were going to do some studies on the coronavirus, SARS, I mean, basically some of the same stuff my brother was talking about. SARS coronavirus in bats, and, you know, it's a lab that sometimes they try to develop vaccine, you know, whatever the hell it is. We even funded, the United States over the years has given money to that very same lab, okay, to try to help them out. But apparently it jumped from the bat to a human there, and that's where patient 0 is. And China, instead of doing the right thing and saying, whoa, they tried to blame it on the wet food market. You know, and of course everybody jumps on, oh, China, the wet food market. You know, it's just classic. They probably even know how people are going to react. And so they were just sort of dangling a little carrot in front of your face, and it turns out that that's totally bogus. And then the World Health Organization just kind of went along with whatever China would tell them, and that's why Trump's withholding funding. So anybody who's going, oh my God, I can't believe you're idiots, okay? We shouldn't give the World Health Organization another nickel until they're held accountable for their complicity in all of the crap that just happened, okay? All of it. China, here's what I would do, everybody. Here's what I would do. I would actually, let's type this in. Hold on, let's see. Okay, we owe China $1.1 trillion in debt. Okay, I would immediately send China a bill for, gosh, I would even say whatever we're spending on all the stimulus package and the amount of money that's lost in 401k plans, all that stuff, and then send them a bill for, you know, maybe $6 trillion, completely wiping out the 1.1 that we owe them. And we'll only do it, we'll do it, and then we'll say we'll go back to doing business the way we were. But we're going to have all the debt we owe you completely wiped out. And as a matter of fact, you're going to owe us money after this is done. Because you intentionally hid it from the world, not allowing any countries to literally just know exactly what they were dealing with and try to stop it. Okay? It's a joke. I mean, China is an embarrassment, okay? They think they're so clever and cute and fun, you know, oh, yeah. Yeah, it's really mind-boggling. And as a matter of fact, if you go watch that guy, he'll tell you how they are over there. You know, they're all about lying. It's a little bit like Al-Qaeda, to be honest with you. You know, it's okay to lie as long as it benefits you. Oh my God, it's absolutely insane. You guys should go check that guy out. You know, basically he was doing videos for years because he lived in China, and then he started covering the coronavirus about the same time Luckner was. You know, about the same time. And he was 2 months ago was saying, "Whoa, this is a big deal. This is way worse than what they're saying." And then he discovered a little ad posting for some openings at the lab to look into the coronavirus, SARS coronavirus, and bats. And and the crazy thing is the lady that was running the lab, she's disappeared off the face of the earth. She was patient 0, gone. And then the other one, the whistleblower, he died. Wow, what a miracle! The one guy dies right from the coronavirus. I guarantee it, that guy did not die from the coronavirus. The whistleblower. You can bet money on that. And I doubt he was even really that sick at all in that picture that you see of him sometimes. I think they just had him sitting there. He's probably scared shitless looking up at people, and then boom, they kill him and then burn his body like they do with everybody. Yeah. Anyways, that's how I wanted to start the show. After just cleaning dog shit off my shoe. Yeah, that's another picture that was sideways there. I don't know, it's weird. Sometimes it seems like when people send me an image off of an iPhone, even though it's upright in the email, it then flips sideways. Like there's some kind of a setting that I don't know. So I have to go watch these and see why they're doing that. No, that's what I've been saying. I think the death toll in China, I've been saying it for a long time, is probably over 100,000 people. I would absolutely be shocked if over 100,000 haven't died in China. Of course, you know how it just stopped one day. It was like 400, 600, 800. Oh, wow, we just cured it, everybody. Nothing to see here. Bye-bye. Yeah, she's doing... well, she was a little bit tired today, Chris was, but she did get a care package from Ash Leela. Thank you very much. that was so cool. She got it. Yeah, she was tired, and what was funny? Here's something that was funny. I said to her, "How are you feeling? How's your arm doing?" And she grabs her right hand and goes, "I think it's going pretty good." And I go, "Well, it's your left hand." It was so funny. We were just laughing, you know, because she was just really tired. She was just, yeah, it was unbelievable. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, the 21 million. I think that one's just because they shut people down, didn't want people to talk. But I guarantee you hundreds of thousands of people have died. Hey, thanks, Mary Hayes.
Good morning, America, from Mary and Dog Ted in Loughdown, Leeds.
Yeah, because it's something that doesn't have any feeling, so it's not like, you know, if you hurt your foot or something, you're going to remember, oh yeah, it's this foot because it hurts. There's no, it must have been the weirdest sensation ever, because what she, after finally getting out the explanation of how it felt, she said it felt like there was one time she lifted her arm up, like, or left arm, like this, like lifted it up like this, right? And then it would just stay there, but she doesn't know how. She couldn't feel the arm at all. So it's like, it lifted up, and then she thinks it's just floating, but her muscles are still holding it up. She just can't feel anything associated with the muscles or anything. It's just sort of no feeling at all. That must be freaky. Yeah. Hey, Susanna, you don't always have to be scientific in here. Nobody, just talk, you know? It's like, yeah, we get it. Anyways, what's weird is she was just holding her arm up and there was no feeling whatsoever. So for her, it felt like it was floating. That's why she explained it to me like that. Yeah, well, but she's still tired. She has to take this blood thinner, like Plavix or something, and then some aspirin every day. So hopefully that I don't know. I think they're just putting her on that. She'll always have to take a little bit of the aspirin, I guess. But I want them to tell me why at some point. So they're still looking at stuff. They're doing a study on a 30-day heart rhythm study, wondering if maybe she has something like atrial, AFib or something. But I don't know. Hey, thanks, Chrissy Elise. Oh, by the way, I was out fishing tonight. I don't know if you can, let me see if you guys can see this. I actually think my wife said it the best. She said, I think the fish are all on quarantine.
So glad to hear Chris is okay. Blue heart.
Yeah, I think I agree. There isn't any, you don't even get a bite anymore. It was weird. You'd throw out like a white curly tail. Hey, thank you very much. Yeah, not even little bites. It's crazy. Usually a white curly tail or something, but yeah. So there I was out there. There's nobody out there at all, The audio wasn't working for some reason. I think I know why. Yeah, but see, I could do one of those bass fishing shows, man. I got it all. Look at that. It's perfect. There isn't a damn thing. I used to catch these really big ones right next to that dock right there. And, nah, not anymore. Oh, you can't see it. Hold on. Right there, look. See? So I used to catch big fish right in there. We can now. Yeah, and it just started getting dark out. Yeah, it wasn't cold at all. This one's like a topwater. It was getting kind of smooth. It's a river, but I thought I'd try like a top water. It makes a sound when it comes in. It's like, I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you can see it about right there. It's kind of small, but see that on the top there? But yeah, there wasn't a damn thing out there. Then it just started getting darker, smoother, and that's what it looked like at the end. It was pretty out there. But there's really nobody out there. Normally there's all kinds of people jogging, and there's just a few people walking around. So, there you go. So right now I'm gonna play. We're gonna go over that video. I've seen it. It's been out for a while, but I haven't gone over it on the show. The one with Lori, Tylee, and Melanie Gibb at the police station. Have you seen that one? Yeah, well, I don't live on the river. I have to drive down there. So what I did was I took the audio file and I fixed it so that you guys could hear it better. Because a lot of times when they were talking, it's pretty quiet, but it was really loud, so I brought it into a program that I have that sort of evens out everybody. And I had to get a couple good casts. But I mean, that was a whole bunch more fishing. I just didn't catch a damn thing, so I'm not going to have you stare at the screen.
Hey Gabe, this is Scott Gauss with the Gibb Police Department. How are you?
Hey, oh wait, how are you? Wait, I could tell that's not working. Hold on. And don't say, Gray, we can't hear. You know, just I don't need to hear it. Okay, I get it. Gray. Yeah, see, there you go.
Hey, the reason for my call, I'll just get right to the point. You're listed as a witness on a petition for an involuntary committal of a Lori Vallow.
Yes.
Yeah, so I guess Charles is trying to get Lori involuntarily committed because she really is nuts. But Lori is good at convincing other people that she's not and gets them on her side. So she almost turned it all the way around on Charles in this deal.
What can you tell me about, I'm just kind of doing a little bit of follow-up on this paperwork, and I was hoping you could just kind of enlighten me, because these things are handwritten, so sometimes they don't necessarily encapsulate everything that you could tell me.
Yeah, you know, it's a tough situation. I'll bring up to speed as best I know here, but his wife, she had been getting into some religious things that trouble.
Well, this isn't Melanie, though. This isn't that Melanie. The Melanie Gibb that shows up with Lori and Tylee is the Melanie that Chad and Lori both tried to use to pretend that JJ was with her, but she decided she wasn't going to cover for Chad and Lori and told the police the truth, that she didn't have JJ.
And the relationship was a bit odd in the last few months, and it kind of all came to a head when he went out of town. He had me listen to a conversation that he had with her where she was making some strange statements. You know, to be very clear, there was nothing threatening or terroristic of any kind. She didn't threaten to hurt herself or the children or him.
Okay.
She did tell him that she was
Melanie
going
Gibb.
to get rid of his stuff.
Not Palouse.
Which actually was true, that when he got back, his things were actually gone from the house.
Okay.
When he returned, she had canceled his flights and done some other things to kind of make it really difficult for him to get back.
Yeah.
When he did return, he found that the house was all locked up. No one was home. Gilbert PD helped break in a door so that he could get in the house, and they cleared the house to make sure it was
What do you mean by Lori's sister? The comment in the chat there. Who are you referring to? The one that died in 1990 something from diabetes, or like a. I'm not sure what. Yeah, it was something about diabetes. Yeah, I mean, who knows? I don't think she was poisoned, because she died of. They knew what she died of. I think it might have been where maybe Alex didn't let her have her insulin. You know, because he's out there using her credit cards. He cared so much about her.
He found some things missing, some clothes, a computer, but no one was home.
I know, Robin. I've gone over it 100 times.
Thanks. That's really the gist of it. I understand now from third parties that she is staying at a hotel, that she appears to be okay. The children are okay. I haven't talked to Charles here for a little bit, so I'm not sure where he is at.
Okay. Let me ask you, sir, if I may. You said, did you listen to this? Was this like a live phone conversation, or was it a recording, or what did you listen to?
He put me in on a conversation. He just he didn't give me kind of warning on it. He just said, "Hold on a sec," and then I guess put me in on a conference call that he was doing with her.
Yeah.
And I thought I was listening to a recording at first.
Yeah, so Charles had a conference call with Lori, and then had him listen in on the conference call. Anyways, yeah, the three siblings are Lori, Alex, and Stacy Lynn Cope right here. Stacy's daughter is Melanie Pulowski. Okay, there's a Melanie Gibb, too. That's just a friend of Lori, I guess from Arizona. And that's who she pretended JJ was with. But anyways, you've got Stacy, Alex, Lori. Stacy's child is Melanie, and Lori sort of became a motherly figure to Melanie, and that's why Melanie's not really that bright, okay? Melanie kind of runs in the family. They're all just a bunch of idiots, okay? But Lori, you know, is a little bit stronger-willed, so she was able to sucker Melanie into believing a bunch of absolute bullshit. And then, for some reason, Ian Pulowski, even after seeing all the bullshit that Melanie believed in, still wanted to marry her because he probably thought, wow, she's hot, you know, instead of actually giving a shit that her brain is about as active as an amoeba, okay? They're all really, really dumb people. That's just a fact.
And then it dawned on me after a minute or so that this wasn't a recording, that it was actually a live conversation. Okay. And then that it ended pretty quick right after that.
Okay. And just so I'm clear, she didn't threaten him, the children, or herself in that conversation?
No, everything was subjective. She did use the word destroy. She said, "I will destroy you," but it was done in a very subjective way that it didn't necessarily come across as a direct threat to him or the children or herself.
Okay. Like it could have been destroy his reputation or something less literal?
His spirit, for all we know, his spirit powers or something. It's just very non-specific.
Yeah, this guy is really making excuses for Lori. Really? Let's go back and listen to that again.
She said, "I will destroy you."
I will destroy you. You mean your spirit? Give me a break, man. Nobody asked you for your... Well, I guess they did ask you, but you're just looking for the best possible meaning of that. It's ridiculous.
But it was done in a very subjective way that it could have...
Oh, sorry about that. Oh, I just did that.
As a direct threat
it should be,
to him or the children or herself.
Larry.
Okay. Like it could have been destroy his reputation or something less literal?
His spirit, for all we know, his spirit powers or something. It's just very non-specific.
Okay. When she was speaking, and I know you said it was short, did she seem coherent, or was she...
She seemed coherent, but her statements were strangely irrational.
I thought something.
She was accusing him of something, but would not tell him what it was.
Okay.
She seemed to indicate again in a somewhat oblique way that he wasn't who he said he was. That he was, and the only thing that actually concerned me out of the conversation that I thought was beyond the pale, so to speak, was he said, hey, I just want to see the kids, and she said something to the effect of, well, you want the kids, I'll give them to you, which I thought was a bit strange for Mom to say.
Yeah.
And that was kind of what made me wonder what was actually going on in her mind at that moment.
Okay.
But she sounded very lucid as she was speaking.
Okay.
There you go. It's all fixed now.
All right, sir. I think that's all. I really appreciate your time. I know this is an awkward position for you to be in, but I do appreciate the extra info.
No problem. He wasn't who he said he was. That he was. And
Right, but you know what she's saying right there, right? He isn't who he said he was. So you know what she's saying? Take a guess, everybody.
on what it was.
Okay.
She seemed to she seemed to indicate again in a somewhat oblique way that he wasn't who he said he was.
What do you think he's saying? No? Yes, a zombie. That's right. That's right. So she's saying that he's a zombie. And then guess what happens to him later while he's still in a zombie state? He's killed, but she feels good about it because, you know, Alex killed him and freeing the lovely Charles, the one that she really loved. She just didn't like the zombie that he became. See, what's great about someone like Lori is she can be the biggest bitch in the entire world and make somebody pissed at her, and then she'll say, look, he's a zombie now. And then he can kill her, and then everything's great. Okay? Because now that I've killed the zombie, I freed the guy that was nice before I was, bitching out on him. She's a total whack job, okay? That's all there is to it, everybody. I don't give a shit. Here's the deal. Even if the kids are somehow still alive on a commune somewhere, she is a crazy wacko and is responsible for the deaths of at least 2 people, in my opinion. Allegedly. Okay?
That he was. And the only thing that actually concerned me out of the conversation that I thought was beyond the pale, so to speak, was, he said, hey, I just want to see the kids, and she said something to the effect of, well, you want the kids, I'll give them to you, which I thought was a bit strange for Mom to say.
Yeah.
Isn't that when she just sort of took off and let him take care of? Because I think this was in, let's see, hold on. Is there any dates or anything on here? That was like February or something. Let me try to make this. I want to see if I'm taking up the whole screen here. Yeah. Okay.
See the kids, and she said something to the effect of, well, you want the kids, I'll give them to you, which I thought was a bit strange for Mom to say.
Yeah.
And that was kind of what made me wonder what was actually going on in her mind at that moment.
Okay.
But she sounded very lucid as she was speaking.
Okay. All right, sir. I think that's all. I really appreciate your time. I know this is an awkward position for you to be in, but I do appreciate the extra info.
No problem. Obviously I want to see everyone treated the best they can, and if she is in a bad state, that then she gets the right kind of care, and hopefully this will resolve itself in the best way possible for those poor kids.
Yeah, I don't think anybody would disagree with you. So,
okay.
Thank you again.
Well, thank you, sir.
All right.
All right. Bye.
Lori Vallow is God. She's assigned to carry out the work of the 144,000. She would have to murder him if he got in her way and tried to stop him. Of course, because at that point, if he was trying to stop her, he must therefore be a zombie. Yeah, so right there, that is... yeah. So right here we've got... do this in slow-mo. On the left there is Lori. I wish they would have kept her face clear. And this right here is Tylee. And then walking in over here on the right in the green shirt is Melanie Gibb. Alright, you got it? Okay.
No, I won't fit with those standards.
No? So I wasn't going to file a report, but my friend who is a police officer told me to file a report.
Okay.
Yeah, see, it's a lot louder so you guys can hear it. I boosted up the audio of just Lori, Tylee, and Melanie in there. Okay? it's weird how they're sort of working together as a team to sell a bunch of garbage. And by the time it's over, they're like, wow, Charles better give back the purse, man. He stole it.
Yeah. All right. Looks like it's just good to have it on record, so.
Yeah, okay, I got a little bit of info from dispatch.
Yeah.
Said he stole your phone and your purse.
My
Yeah.
whole purse. So yesterday, I got in an argument with my husband on the phone, and he was in Texas working, and I found some stuff that he'd been doing, so he was really defensive. And so I took the kids. We spent the night in a hotel because I knew he was coming home. And so this morning when I took my son...
I'm not cutting that out. They redacted that.
When I went into the school to take him into school, he was waiting somewhere and like stole my purse out of the car. My whole purse. So my phone, my wallet, my money, my everything was in there. So I had the door locked, but the sunroof was open because we have a service dog and he was in the car, and I didn't want to, my son was kind of throwing a fit. I didn't want to get him both out of the car because it was a mess this morning. And we didn't have any of our stuff because we spent the night in the hotel and he was out of his element. And so I didn't lock the door for like the first time ever, and he like, whatever, either got it out, I don't remember if the door was locked, he got it out, or he reached through the sunroof and just got it.
Okay.
But then he started texting all my family and all my friends and impersonating me, and got my friend lured over to the house to meet him, where he had like kicked in the door to get into the house and stuff. So.
And he did that this morning?
Last night.
Last night, okay.
Which I'm glad we went there. So.
Right. Okay.
That's when I got there. I'm like, Lori? Where's Lori?
But he texted her from my phone because he was pretending to be me, saying, "Oh, come meet me at the house," and whatever.
Okay.
So, like,
how did he? What did he say to you then?
Yeah, I guess she had her phone, texted Melanie to have her come to the house. But why would he want Melanie to go to the house anyways?
He said, "Can you come to the house now?"
And then when you
I
did?
said, "Sure." Yeah. And
Okay.
then proceeded to act like he was himself.
do you have the text messages on your
I
phone?
have no on my phone, but so when I got there, I said, "You've been using Lori's phone to connect with me." He goes, "Sorry, I've deceived you." I said, "Oh, okay, yeah, you did." And luckily, there were some other people there that were.
So he was changing the locks and probably got the door
locksmiths were
fixed
there.
where he kicked it in, so that
The locksmiths were there, so I'm glad that they were there. But there was a white Suburban.
See, what this is Lori is a wacko and did all these different things, and Charles is trying to mitigate some of the damage she's done, but in doing so, she's able to say it, and it sounds like Charles is the bad guy. See, that's just classic passive-aggressive shit right there. She does all this stuff, and then she tries to spin it back onto Charles, and it works too, because you know, the police are listening. You've got Tylee and another person, Melanie. It just sucks.
Which I don't know. It was up in there. I don't know where he got that car, but anyway, it was a few vehicles, so I didn't know, who. I suspected it would be her. I should have noticed that your car wasn't there, but I didn't notice that.
Okay, what kind of car do you drive?
An Infinity QX80 black.
So
Why?
So you got to the house, and then you got there. He said, "Yeah, I deceived you," and then what was he calling you there for?
He wanted me to come over there and get some information about her, pretty much.
Oh, okay. What did he ask you?
He was asking, like, what's got into her, like,
Where is she?
where is she?
Right. Those are reasonable questions. But notice when she said that Lori tries to jump in there and sort of interrupt, because that was too close to the reality of it.
Like, what's got into her, like,
Where is she?
Where is she?
Right? You know what I'm saying? I mean,
I didn't know where she was. She didn't actually.
I didn't tell anybody.
He just basically wanted me to take his side, I think, and just
Told her how crazy I was and stuff like that. So.
And what was your name?
Melanie.
Your last name?
Gibb.
Gibb.
Okay, just because for documentation later. What's your date of?
so what were you saying again, Melanie? He was saying that.
So he had you come there. I was asking you questions. So Like, is this something that's happened before, or is this
unfortunately,
Lori's so happy with the whole
We
thing.
even go to hotels just to like calms down or something, you know. So we've done that before.
what is it like that motivates him doing this kind of stuff? Does he say one?
He just goes nuts sometimes.
Mhm.
This time I caught him cheating and I had evidence and I told him about it, and he travels a lot for business, so I told him about it and told him not to come home and that his stuff would be gone and that his car would be gone and all this thing. So he's a little mad.
What the hell? His car would be gone and it would be gone, and then Tylee reaches over like, calm down. She wasn't even upset right there. She had a big smiley face. She was, look, you get what I'm saying here? I mean, look, I don't even know what Tylee was doing here.
His stuff would be gone and that his car would be gone and all this thing. So he's a little mad. But I just left with the kids because I didn't want them in all the drama.
Yeah.
So then he took your phone and purse, and has he tried to make contact with you since?
He's trying to contact me through her. He has
Through
me.
her?
I don't have a way to be
Okay.
contacted.
Yeah. And I
I wasn't
know her-
trick-or-treating.
I didn't know what her phone. I couldn't contact her.
Nobody could
Nobody said
contact
she
me.
called
I just went and bought a phone so I could have a phone, a little
Yeah. So.
throwaway phone. So I could.
Have you called him to ask him if he'd bring your stuff back?
Well, he talked to her about it. So he
And what
said,
was...
Yeah. I said, would you be willing to give me the purse for Lori? You know. And he goes, no, unless she does this, and all these things.
Don't speak in generalities. I
Oh,
want
sorry.
specifics.
he wants me to
What did
meet
he
him at
say?
therapy today
So
or
he
something,
wanted
or something.
to meet him
With
at
a purse.
therapy.
But he wasn't going to give you the purse. He just was saying he'd give it to me if I meet him there.
Okay.
But I don't really want to talk to him today if I don't have to. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if we have him bring the purse back, are we all good? Like, I mean, you're not willing to meet with him with a therapist or anything to try to get it back?
I don't want to meet with him because I don't know. He's very sneaky. So like, what he'll do is meet me in the parking lot and mess around with me. Whatever. Like he's not going to just
What if we
let
call
me
him
walk
and
into therapy.
see if
But
he'll come here and we can facilitate him giving your purse back?
that would be fine. You want to try that? I know he has it because he
Obviously, he's texting
Yeah.
her.
He's texting all my
Yeah.
and all my family and the kids too.
Yeah, definitely has her phone. So we know it was him that took the purse because he had her phone.
What's he texting you?
I have the text. He was basically just texting me.
He's acting like that my son was in danger. I was worried about JJ's
Okay.
safety and things, and texting her like he's gonna.
So he at first texted me, "You doing okay today? Hey girl, are you okay? Please, your mom. I may not be home for a bit. Love you." Sent me a strange link to a website about our church.
About
That-
crazy people.
Yeah. Said this is what's happening, and then he texted me at almost midnight. I'm so, but I have no choice. I'm just sick. Danger. I had no choice. He didn't file a police report or anything as far as we know, so I'm just assuming he was trying to get a response. And then I love you. He was.
Police report about.
I wonder what Melanie feels like now, because she knew that they used her for the JJ situation. So now she's probably thinking, God, man, Charles is onto something. And then Charles is dead. I bet after Charles died, she probably thought, shit, Charles was probably telling the truth. This is all before that, right? Obviously, because
What?
Or I don't know, but he was acting like he did something.
And then those
basically.
text messages came from. Do you have it entered as mom's phone? Or?
No, that was from him.
That's before he
That was
didn't.
from
That's
his phone.
before
He didn't take the
yeah.
purse until 8:30
This was
morning
last
when I was
night.
at school.
That was from his phone.
And he was sending word for word the same text to my cousin, like
What's his name?
Charles.
What's his phone number?
You know what's kind of weird here is how Tylee's so into, you sort of wonder how much Lori's been telling Tylee to get her to sort of not like Charles a little bit. Why is she in here right now? He's been her father for 7 or 8 years at this point.
You have the same last name as you, I'm assuming?
Yeah,
Okay.
Vallow. Charles Vallow. So my friend told me, my friend that's a police officer, he said, go file a report, file a restraining order, all that stuff. I don't want to do all that stuff. I just wanted to be on record, and if you can get the purse back, that would be lovely, because all my stuff is in there. I'm really mad about my lip gloss.
So this is on January 31st, 2019. Yeah. So Justin Lum, it was on Justin Lum's Facebook page, this clip. It says, in this compilation from 131:19, a GPD sergeant interviews Gabe Bonilla, a friend of Charles Vallow, over the phone. That's the first guy. Bonilla told police he heard a recent phone call between Lori and Charles when she allegedly told her former husband she would destroy him. Then Lori Vallow, Tylee Ryan, and Melanie Gibb arrive at GPD to speak to officers about Lori's stolen purse and phone that morning. She accused Charles of taking her belongings while she dropped off her son JJ at school. Officers ask what happened. Lori also says Charles is cheating on her and also wants her to give him the money she took from their account. Tylee Ryan reads some of the texts she claims Charles sent the night before. Finally, officers called Charles, so we'll hear that in a minute. I want to look at, there's a timeline here. Yeah, this is the one by Joseph Ryan's sister, Annie. All right, but let's see if there's anything right around January 31st. And I thought I saw something in here. Okay, so listen to this. According to a petition for an order of protection filed by Charles against Lori, Lori made several disturbing statements and threats in a phone call. She didn't trust me. She would need to kill him when he got home. She would have an angel there to help dispose of his body. She knew his real name was Nick Schneider. That must be the evil spirit that entered his body. Allegedly, when Charles asked Lori who Nick Schneider was, she replied, "Nick is your real name," Lori said, according to documents. Nick killed Charles. Oh, that is what I was right. Look at that. Nick killed Charles and has taken his identity. The freaking zombie theory. He'd have to go, and painfully. She also threatened to destroy him financially, according to court documents. And then this is also January 30th. Lori Vallow allegedly cancels Charles Vallow's flight home, which he found out when he arrived at the airport in Houston. Was forced to buy a $600 last-minute ticket to Phoenix. So think about that. That's why he probably got there and did the stuff that he did, because she canceled his flight. She had to pay another $600 for a last-minute ticket to Phoenix. After his plane landed, Charles walked out to the airport parking lot where he had left his truck, yet he couldn't find it anymore. Lori had used her spare key to remove the truck. He came home to a house that had been emptied. Charles also claimed that it took Lori 3 days to disclose where she left the truck. Charles was forced to rent a vehicle during that time. Let's see. She wiped out his business account, withdrawing $35,000. That's been reported on quite a bit. But one thing I haven't seen reported on is the smaller withdrawals made after the $25,000 the day before, according to a ledger. After the $35,000 withdrawal, the account had $911.53 remaining. But then there are two more withdrawals made on the 30th, one for $500 and then another for $250, leaving the account with $161.53, and then $100 was put toward a credit card payment, leaving the account with $61.53. I don't know if these were made by Lori. If they were, it demonstrates a chilling level of cruelty. She hit his truck and took him 3 days to find it. She hit his. This stuff right here was what Annie's was thinking. She's got the information. She took her disabled son's meds, his iPads, and his service dog's collar. She changed the locks on the house. See, she said he changed the locks. And then she went MIA and didn't tell Charles where she was. Again on the 30th, Lori Vallow disappears to an unknown location according to then-husband Charles Vallow. She was allegedly gone for 58 days. Now on January 31st, which apparently is the same date as this interview we're looking at, Lori Vallow is compelled to report to the Gilbert Police Department in regard to a harassment call for service submitted by Charles Vallow. Police are also informed about a petition for an involuntary hold at Community Bridges. Police say Lori would be allowed to go to the facility willingly to talk to staff. If she did not, she would be taken involuntarily. Complicating matters, Charles had taken Lori's purse out of her car when she went into JJ's school and refused to return it. Only after police informed him that he needed to bring the purse and petition to the station or face theft charges did he say that he found it in the parking lot. The document states Charles had many excuses as to why he didn't give it back to her. That's crazy. So that's all this. That's mentioned. This entire police visit here is mentioned in that timeline.
From her credit card.
You have the same last name as you, I'm assuming?
Yeah,
Okay.
Vallow. Charles Vallow. So my friend told me, my friend that's a police officer, he said, go file a report, file a restraining order, all that stuff. I don't want to do all that stuff. I just wanted to be on record, and if you can get the purse back, that would be lovely, because all my stuff is in there. I'm really mad about my lip gloss.
From her credit cards.
Well, he has all the cards and all this stuff, so he's mad because I took the money out of our account, but it's a joint account, so he wants me to give him money.
Right. Well, you're admitting that you took the money out of the account because it's a joint account. You took it all. So now he wants you to give him his money back.
All this stuff. So he's mad because I took the money out of our account, but it's a joint account, so he wants me to give him money.
Yeah. You hear what she said? She took, I mean, man, the police right there should have went, whoa. She took the money out of the account, right? That means all of it. Just about all of it, right? I took the money out of the account, and he wants me to give him some.
Okay, well, that's all a civil issue.
That's what I'm saying, right?
Purse, there's no reason why he's
That's
walking
what I'm
around
saying.
with your purse
See,
or ID.
it's a joint account. It's
that
civil.
He doesn't have a right to.
Right,
Married
that's
or
what I'm
not
saying. All the
married.
rest of the stuff is our joint stuff together.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but how much of that money did you make, Lori?
We're going to leave the room temporarily. We're going to
Seriously,
give them a call, see if we can't get this rectified.
That'd be great. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
All right.
Thanks, Kit Kat. Yes, we're building up for next. At the end of this month, we're going to be donating again.
Sorry for interrupting, just wanted to support my fave true crime guy. Hugging face, smiling face, hugging face, smiling face.
Well, thanks, Kit Kat.
You want to try calling or you want me to call?
I don't know. This one's a little confusing for me, honestly.
I love this call.
Oh, yeah, I would actually love.
Hey, Chloe, you need to quit pooping, okay?
What's that? Charles. Hello. Hi, this is Officer Edgerton, Gilbert PD. Is this Charles? Hey, Charles. The reason why I'm calling right now is your wife's at the police department.
I don't think she's pretty at all.
Claiming you stole her purse and her cell phone.
Her personality makes her as ugly as you can possibly get. Like all the physical beauty she may have ever had is non-existent in my brain when I look at her.
Okay, so that's a civil issue, and she's responsible for every penny. When if you guys end up going through a divorce proceeding. Okay, and you also texted a friend to meet you at the house last night? Under the guise that you were her? What was that for? So you texted a friend of hers to meet you at the house last night using her cell phone. What was that all about? Oh, this morning? Okay.
Yes, I said that, Jenny.
We read the report from earlier
She keeps
today
pooping all over
regarding you
the
not being
floor.
able to get into the house and everything, so I do not have the order in front of me, so I cannot
Thanks,
do that.
Jody Williams.
It's got to be approved, and I know I cannot get her, well, it's got to go to our sergeant, who's got to call, verify that it's good, and then we get dispatched. So that's just how the process works. And I can't keep somebody against their will without a warrant or the valid. Well, I'm telling you right now, we have a process. You come here, you turn it in, it goes to a sergeant. Sergeant calls the doctor. Okay, well, I don't have that, and for all we know, it's not valid anymore. I do not know. What I'm concerned about.
Say what?
Yeah, well, that's not what I'm discussing a whole separate issue right now, and that's her getting her belongings back. Okay, you're saying it's at the house, which you changed the locks on, correct? So she doesn't have access to. Yes. So unless you want to be charged with theft, we need to get that purse back to her. If you want to come here with the purse and that order, we can get this all try to figure it out. And the purse and her cell phone. Okay. So how soon can you be here? We're at the police department, 75 East Civic Center Drive, Gilbert and Warner. Thank you. How long?
That's right.
All right, but he
Quit
says he's
pooping.
with the order.
So that should get interesting.
It's going to get real interesting.
Well, when he showed up, don't they have body cam footage of when Charles got there?
I don't even know, so, alright.
That'd be pretty creepy to see that, though, wouldn't it?
I guess this could, yeah.
Yeah.
Chloe, quit pooping.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind if she poops, technically, but just not on the floor. Another thing about where, a lot of times she poops, Chloe, in places you just wouldn't imagine. Like, behind something in the craziest little place, or in a shoe. That's always my favorite, right? One time she pooped into my headphones that are on the ground by my bed. And it's like, how did you do that? Really, though? I don't know how you pooped into a headphone. Okay? Yeah, it's amazing how she does it. You know what's weird is I've never caught her pooping. I've never even seen her poop once in the house. And it's not Blue, because it's different, and Blue doesn't do that. He goes outside, right? So you look over there and you see this little poop. It's like, I don't know, man. As soon as you turn your head, unbelievable. No, she just does it all the time. It's almost like she doesn't realize that she should be pooping outside. Outside, boy, she keeps nice and clean. Comes inside. Yeah, it fits right together, doesn't it? Yeah. So, Lori, she's very manipulative. Unfortunately, JJ, Tylee, and Charles were all deemed to be zombies. And of course, it makes all the sense in the world is whenever somebody's a zombie, the evil spirit displaced the original spirit into some sort of nebulae somewhere, you know, where they're just stuck until the physical body, the vessel that was taken over by the evil spirit, is destroyed. And it's actually an act of kindness. Yeah, I mean, you get that, right, everybody? It's a total act of kindness to kill somebody who's actually a zombie. Because you're freeing the spirit that is stuck in the nebulae. So as soon as you kill that vessel that has the evil spirit in, nobody ever explains, though, why after the evil spirit takes over, why does the spirit that was once inhabiting the vessel, why does it get stuck somewhere? We don't need to know that part. It somehow gets stuck somewhere, and then it's just waiting and waiting and waiting. It could sit there for... Well, let me ask you this, though. Let's say the vessel that has the evil spirit lives out its full life, but then dies in a car accident. Does it then also free the soul of the original inhabitant? Or how does that work exactly? Or does it have to be sort of killed by somebody that has enough power? Yeah. You get what I'm saying there? Does one of the cult leaders have to kill the zombie for it to actually free the soul? Okay, because I could see a situation where the zombie is taken over by an evil spirit, or, you know, the vessel is taken over by an evil spirit, and that happens when there's a moment of, like, something traumatic happens. You're either injured or something mentally traumatic happens where you're weak, and then an evil spirit takes over. But then what if that evil spirit, when he's taken over, has a traumatic moment? Could another spirit take over that vessel, and therefore putting that evil spirit into, you know, a sort of a holding pattern as well? So then that evil spirit's now hanging out with, you know, maybe, you know, where the original soul? We just don't know at this point. It's really wild. Hopefully you're following along, though. You're following along. You get what I'm saying. No, Lori, that's what's crazy is, if of all of them, Lori would be considered a zombie, right? Because apparently one time she was a great mother. But then something happened where it turned her into a zombie. An evil spirit took her over. So, of course, then that evil spirit comes up with this crazy religion that allows her to kill with impunity whoever the hell she wants to. Oh yeah? You have to be a level up in order to get the double-veiled zombie kill. I wouldn't doubt it. Wouldn't doubt it at all. Yeah, it's just, they don't answer a lot of those types of questions. Because wouldn't the original soul just go back in after the vessel dies, no matter how it dies? So 100 years later, and the original soul doesn't go back into the vessel, it's just freed to go to heaven at that point. Yeah. And you know what's weird is Lori made people zombies. Because as soon as you get mad at her, you have now been taken over by an evil spirit. Tiny bubbles in the wine make me happy, make me feel fine. That's Chad on the beach. Yeah, cha cha cha. That's right. Oh, Skippy the dipshit. Yeah, look at that. Look at that guy. Look at that guy. Oh, God. This is one of the pictures I saw. Look at that, man. What a. Oh. Yeah, he once was somebody. You know, he looks like he's lost something about him just in that recent time, doesn't it? You know, no more ass to slap after you go to a storage unit. I saw Alex, he does a stand-up comedian act somewhere on YouTube somewhere. And he was like an actual comedian. I mean, he wasn't great, but he wasn't, you know, he wasn't awful. I don't know why this guy... Well, here's the thing, is I was telling you guys, notice how his hair got longer later. I think he cut his hair for a reason. Like, when you look at the wedding pictures, his hair's shorter, and it was way shorter before that. Oh yeah. I don't know about you, but I cry whenever I see these. I cry. Look at that. Look how short that hair is right there. Oh yeah. Look at that absolute joy he's got on that face right there. And the reason he has so much joy, I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but the wife that he had whacked, she told him in a conversation after she died behind the veil how happy she was that Chad was going to be with Lori and be happy again. And that she was going to then take care of all the relatives in there. And then Chad, knowing that she was so happy, felt free to marry Lori, and thus the joy. As if Tammy never existed. I think if any of Chad's kids talk to him in any loving way at all, they're absolute morons at this point. Okay? Hey, listen. Hey, there's something... Chad had something to do with your mom not being alive. Okay? I guess we'll have to wait and see what the official results are, but I'm pretty sure there's something to do with it. He had something to do with it. Look at that crazy looking. Oh shit. Here, let me do. I'm gonna do something here. Tiny bubbles. Thanks, Kid Cat.
These wedding pics are burning my eyes. Lol, rolling on the floor laughing.
LOL. I know this is just lame, but I'm trying to. Oh yeah. What a creepy looking. Look at that. The chin right there, the lower teeth, big nose, big schnoz right there. Sure.
Since Chad doesn't know where the kids are, I demand to know where is the ukulele. Chad, face with tears of joy, face with tears of joy. Gray, you're the best.
Yeah, at least give us the location of the ukulele. Thank you, Miss Skiss. Here, let me see if I can. What else I can put on here? Yeah. Looks pretty good, huh? That actually, this guy right here looks better than Chad, don't you think? Yeah, looks totally better. Yeah, no doubt about it. Here, let me try something here.
He does look like that seal I sent you, face with tears of joy, face with tears of joy.
He does look like this. Oh yeah, that's right. Let's see. a second.
I think Chad looks like the car crash evolution guy. Google Graham car crash. The model they
Oh, yeah.
came up with is Chad.
There we go. Got that. Let me see if I can get like an eyeball or something in there. Let's see. Thanks, Cairo. I think Chad looks like the car crash evolution guy. Google Graham car. Well, I'm trying to do something here. Okay. I guess he does kind of look like that guy. Yeah. Let's see. We're making an evil creature. Oh God, I can already tell this is gonna look crazy right here. Oh man. This guy looks crazy right now. Yeah. Got a lot losing some of the color stuff going on, but yeah, let's see. Let me get one more thing in there. Thanks, Claudia Neubauer. Hey, sometimes I can do goofy art stuff too, right? Oh, shit. Claudia Neubauer. How's it going, Claudia? Anything going on in the Fotis Doulos?
Gray is the best investigator on YouTube. Smiling face with heart eyes. Starstruck smiling face with heart eyes.
Well, it's very kind of you. Thank you. Obviously, right now I'm just goofing around a little bit. But There you go, everybody. There's Chad's other look. That was very kind of you, Claudia. Thank you. So, what do you guys think? Does that guy look better than Chad? Or, you know, I'm not really sure. Even though that is Chad, this right here is actually Chad's chin, if you can believe that. I'm going to save it. There we go. Yeah. I don't even know if you could ever see the chin again. Put that on a mug. Yeah. That would be kind of funny. I'd have to, like, make it so there was actual hair and everything. You know, get rid of the gray here and just have it put on there. We'll call this the potato head, Chad. All right, well, I got this. Maybe we'll try something like that. Oh yeah, that'd be sweet. Clown, Lori, and then Chad on that one. Do I still have that? The clown? I don't even know if I have the clown Lori anymore. Put that mug on a mug. Yeah, the problem is everybody says they're going to get a mug, but you know, like I sell 2 mugs. There's some good ones out there too, man. The Look It, the Correct, the Heart with the freak in the middle of it. 4 new ones. That's her son. Colby, from her second husband. Oh, God. Oh boy. Well, I looked into a bunch of cases, and I was looking at Arkansas, but I think I'll just save those for some other time. There were some weird ones, though. There's one from 1946, the Texarkana Phantom Killer. 1987, Kevin Ives and Don Henry killed by a train. They were laying on the tracks, but they thought it was a suicide. Then it was undetermined. Then it was determined to be a murder. I've seen other people talking about it. I hadn't. There's like a podcast, but I didn't know anything about it. I just found it on my own. And then a couple other ones. What did Claudia say about the Fotis Doulos? Let's see. Oh. Yeah, who knows? Oh, yeah? Cool, Cairo. Maybe I should do, maybe I'll redo the, now, I kind of like the way I did Chad because it looks like a potato bug. I mean, a potato head, I mean. Potato bug, Jesus. Well, that too. Hey, Chloe, are you going to go poop somewhere? Yeah. So how's everybody doing? Sounds like they're starting to put some plans in order to start opening up the economy again after the 30 days is up. I think some of the stuff makes sense. Yeah, I wouldn't like I could see a situation like this where you have a, like I was saying this way before this, by the way. I mean, even on this show, I said, you know, the Blazers have a 20,000 people seating. Let's say there was 80. Let's just say there's 30 games left, right? Well, you let 7,000 show up for one game. So there might, let's say there's 9 games left, and what you do is you give 3 groups of people get to go to 3 games, and you only have 8,000 people there. They're sitting every 3 seats, and what I would do is actually cover the other 2 seats between them, and that way nobody's confused, and you have to actually wear a mask, not an N95 or anything, but just a mask, and you watch the game. And at least there's 6,000, 7,000 people in there cheering. But even before that, you could have games. You need something, though, like especially basketball games. Yeah, it's your internet, Tammy. Everything's fine here. Yeah, New York's they didn't know what the hell they were doing over there. The reality of this whole thing is it's China's fault. You know, I know that the left is going to try to blame Trump, the missing month of February. You know, but here's the reality. I said it on the show the other night with my brother. Here's the truth, everybody. You want to hear the truth? If he had shut down the country with like 1 death, nobody would have done anything that he said. Nobody would have listened to the social distancing. Nobody would have done anything because it was just like, what? And as my brother said, it'd be kind of abstract. Like, what are you talking about? The people of the United States, we need like proof of something.